welcome to all of our members joining us. While we are waiting for all of our participants to join in, I want to ask you guys to just, in your chat function at the bottom of your screen, tell us who you are and where you're from, so that we have a good idea of where we are geographically and how spread out we are today for our session. So that's in the chat function at the bottom. You can just use that, who you are and where you're from. Let's see. We have our first person on. We have Valian. Hi, Valian, and Jolene from Bethlehem. Welcome. Maylene from Pretoria. I see our participants are still coming in strong. We have Amukhalaling from Cape Town. We have Tegan from Joburg, Emily from Joburg, Naledi from Joburg, Rafilwe. We have Rutendo on, Tracy. We have Tutu from Johannesburg. We have Sia from Potch. We have Leabona from East London, Carmia from Pretoria. Hi guys, we have some Lisa from Northern Cape, we have Chloe from the Western Cape, we have a few people coming in from Pietermaritzburg and Durban as well, Orateng from Cape Town. We have quite a number of Joburg members on today as well. Welcome and thank you very much for joining our session today. I see we will still have a few people joining us throughout. And I would like to welcome you all and thank you for availing your time to be on this webinar today. So I would like to introduce our speakers for today. First, we have Warren Farrer. He is a born and bred Durban boy. He says other than 2 years of work experience with Adcock Ingram in Johannesburg, he's always lived in Durban. He's completed his BCom honours and he's also a Golden Key member. Up until 2008, he held various marketing positions in organisations such as Dunlop Tires, Lion, Marsh, BMW, Adcock Ingram, and the Rainbow or RCL Foods. In 2008, he joined a group called CSI and the group CSI and Communications position that was introduced into CSI, and he hasn't looked back since. Today, he heads up the Dhumal Foundation, which was founded by RCL Foods. Welcome, Warren. Then also online, we have Iris Naidu. She completed her degree in Public Relations and Communication Management from Durban, or DUT, in 2002. She spent her professional career span of almost 20 years in roots with community development, income generation, and corporate social investment. She spent her founding years at Durban NGO, and later moved into the corporate world, gaining experience in locally and in Africa with Massmart Group as their group CSI specialist. In 2015, she moved to the RCL Foods Group to join their CSI division. And in the last year, she's taken up the portfolio of partnership manager for the Dhumal Foundation. Welcome, Iris. Thank you for joining us. Online, we have also Cara Goshen. She's a passionate young communication specialist with education and community development experience in the nonprofit sector. She has a relentless drive to improve the lives of vulnerable young children and their families. She graduated first in her class at the University of Pretoria, where she obtained her Bachelor's of Social Work. She spent some time working in the field of disabilities until she joined the Dhumal Foundation team and furthered her studies to include graphic design and digital marketing. She now heads up the communication and early learning program for the foundation. Welcome, Cara. Then we have online Leanne Chamu. She has her BCom Finance and Supply Chain and have worked in the finance for Virgin Active, BSI Steel Cancer Association, and currently the assistant accountant for the Dhumal Foundation. I want to mention that they're all Golden Key members, and we're very proud to have them on here today. So thank you very much for joining, and I'm going to hand over to Warren for the rest of the webinar.
Gillian, thank you. Thanks very much. And thank you to both yourself and Dr. Almi Castleman for making this opportunity available for us. It is really great to be able to talk to Golden Key members. Yeah, thanks for having us, guys. So, yeah, you heard, I'm not going to bore you with my voice the entire time. I've got some of my colleagues that are going to join me and present some of the work that we've done. But today, really, we just wanted to share with you what we are doing as a foundation, and perhaps table some opportunities where we think we could work in a kind of volunteer space, and look at some opportunities where you could actually contribute to the communities in and around where you operate, and doing that through kind of the Dhumal Foundation. So in the introduction, you heard that I worked in RCL Foods, and when I was within RCL Foods, I headed up corporate social investment and communications. And at the time, we realized that as a corporate social investment arm of RCL Foods, we were kind of restricted by the funding from RCL Foods. RCL Foods, by the way, I'm not sure how many of you guys do know, but RCL Foods is one of the biggest food companies in South Africa. RCL Foods produces brands such as Rainbow Chickens, Yum Yum, peanut butter, Nola mayonnaise, Sunbaked bread is part of our brand, one of our brands. Omar Rusks is one of our brands, and many others. There's about 30 odd brands that make up RCL Foods. And so what I was saying was, we knew that we had to do a lot more than we could just with the funding from RCL Foods. And so we set up the foundation 3 years ago. I was just chatting to Gillian just now about what we've been able to achieve over this 3-year period. And I think at the end of this presentation, I think you'll see that we've accomplished quite a lot over that period. But we'll get to that. I think for now, I'd like to share with you a video of what the foundation's about, and it kind of sets the context for the rest of the presentation. So, Cara, if you can show us the video, please. Thank you.
Fact: the first few years of life, from conception to school-going age, is a time of unprecedented opportunity. Fact: in South Africa, these crucial years are jeopardized by the cycle of poverty. And when kids can't thrive, and families and communities can't be supported, the country suffers for generations. At the Dhumal Foundation, we direct our activities to disrupt the cycle and create better tomorrows for the young children of South Africa. We put children at the heart of everything we do, giving them the best start in life so that they can flourish, so that their communities can flourish. But we can't do it alone. The Dhumal Foundation inspires collaboration. We act as a catalyst for the public, private, and NGO sectors to come together. We support families and communities. We capacitate, advocate, and mobilize resources. Because breaking the cycle of poverty starts not by seeing the world as it is, but seeing the world as it could be, and working together to make that vision possible. When we work together, remarkable things can happen. Together, we can do more for the young children of South Africa. Together, we can create better tomorrows for young children.
Brilliant. So from that video, you would have seen that as a foundation, we really place the young child at the center of everything that we do. When I came into this space in terms of the foundation work and really focusing on young children, I didn't know the fact that 90% of brain growth takes place before the age of 5. You know, I always considered, well, okay, all my learning, all my education, all my knowledge, all that grew whilst I was in, secondary, tertiary education, but that's not the case. And so those early years, those first few years of life, from conception actually, right through to age 5, are incredibly important in terms of laying the foundations for young children. And so we as a foundation place the young child at the center of what we do. And we say, and our model essentially is to say, if you take care of the young child within a family, in turn, you will look after that family. And if you look after more than one families, you look after communities. And so that's really our model of how we work. On the slide, you can also see we are a registered nonprofit organization with independent trustees as well. Just another issue that we find unacceptable in our country, which is why we focus on young children, is the fact that, and you might have seen, there's been quite a lot of recent stuff in the press around stunting levels in our country. And statistically, about 27%, and I'm not sure if this audience actually knew this or knows this, but statistically, 27% of the children in our country are stunted. And what stunting means is a child is too short for their age. But it's not really the physical stunting of the child. It's the cognitive stunting that happens as a result of that, of the stunting. So it's the cognitive disability that happens. And so essentially, in a country like ours, we write off nearly 1/3 of our children, because 1/3 of our children will never reach their potential. And so that's the reason why we focus on young children, because we believe as an organization that's unacceptable. And we need to change things for young children in our country. The next slide you'll see is we actually won an award for collaboration and partnership, because all of the work that we do in a partnership collaboration way. We actually won this award ahead of some amazingly big stuff that we've done and that we did last year, but I'll leave that to Iris to share because I don't want to steal her thunder. But suffice to say that everything we do as an organization, we do in a collaborative partnership way, both with the public and the private sector. Thank you, Cara. The next slide really just talks to what we do as an organization in terms of focus areas. So I mentioned young children that we focus on, but we also do work in, we call it Ease Hunger, which is around food gardens. This particular work we did started with household gardens that moved to community gardens, that moved to co-ops that actually now support and provide food into the likes of Spar and supermarkets. So some really great work that we do in that space, and also some really nice work that we do in supporting youth. And Iris will talk about one of the small projects that we've done a little bit later in terms of supporting youth. But what we do with these projects around support, Ease Hunger and support youth, is they underpin all of work we do around young children. On the right-hand side of this slide, you can see all the projects that happen across the country. So you can see as an organization, we work, and I saw right in the chats in the beginning where you indicated where you guys are from. And we as an organization do work across the country. Our large-scale work that we do is based in Umkamasi, so that's in Mpumalanga, sitting right next to Kruger National Park. We've got some quite big community projects which take place in Hammersdale, and then a large-scale project which takes place in Worcester, just outside of Cape Town. But other projects happening across the country, as you can see from that map. The next slide, I'll leave this to Iris to talk about.
Hi everyone, thank you for the opportunity. Our Mandela Day campaign, the video you're going to see is actually last year's achievement. And I mean, in a nutshell, we had thousands of volunteers across the country putting together volunteer programs, so over 100 different projects impacting many, many different organizations. But this year, and you'll see the video, but just want to give you a sneak preview into this year. This year, 2020 Mandela Day, Dhumal Foundation together with Rainbow Chicken will be providing 1 million hot meals across South Africa. So we're doing this for Mandela Day to be able to feed many, many impoverished young children of South Africa. So that's what we're doing this year. But let's have a look at what we accomplished last year. And I hope you're encouraged by it. Thank you, Cara.
Naidu that there can be no greater gift than of giving one's time and energy without expecting anything in return. Each and every year, the Dhumal Foundation brings this belief to light as we gather more people to join hands and do more in commemoration of Madiba. This year, the Dhumal Foundation rallied together over 1,400 passionate volunteers from local communities, 44 RCL food sites, and 10 external companies. Even RCL Foods employees' children were given a chance to spend their 67 minutes doing more for others.
Between 5th and 25th July, a total of 57 Mandela Day events took place at 76 beneficiary organizations across 8 provinces. From children's Ecd centers to old age homes, our volunteers worked tirelessly to leave their Dhumal mark behind by implementing 183 mini projects, including the startup of food gardens, giving centers a fresh lick of paint, planting trees, helping with basic maintenance, and transferring skills onto Ecd practitioners. Volunteers also prepared a delicious meal for beneficiaries made up of RCL Foods' much-loved brands and Crown National spices. A total of 14,400 meals were prepared and served across the country, thanks to the work of our amazing volunteers and 22 corporate partners. One of the things about RCL is about more food to more people more often. So that is one of the core pillars that we work towards. It's a passion of mine to actually assist wherever I can, and where it's underprivileged children or whichever initiative that we are actually doing, it's something that's close to my heart and actually just fulfills me to know that I'm actually helping someone.
The route that we've chosen as RCL Foods is, instead of simply doing CSI, which of course is very, very good, we opted to set up a fully fledged independent foundation, which needs to stand up on its own 2 feet, on its own 2 legs, and to deliver in a sustainable way into the future. And at the heart of that is collaborations.
We believe that achieving strong, sustainable solutions to pressing social needs depends on partnerships between a range of stakeholders, including corporates, NGOs, NPOs, government departments, and passionate individuals who care to make a difference. Our past 3 Mandela Day campaigns showed the power of these partnerships in action. And next year, we'll make the circle bigger by bringing even more people on board and spreading even more love.
Thank you, Cara. The next, as you can see, that was last year. And like the video says, this year we're going to go bigger and even better with 1 million meals. Next up, we want to show you our World Food Day video, which was a record that we smashed. We talk about doing things that are impossible or thought to be impossible. We thought, what if we could make as many peanut butter sandwiches in a single hour the same day across the country? And what seemed impossible, guess what? We smashed the record. So you're going to watch the amazing feat that we managed to accomplish only with tons of volunteers and many, many partners. And I hope you'll be inspired by this. Together, we can do anything. Thank you, Cara.
Today, yes, we are aiming to break a world record, but it's more than that. Today is World Food Day, and the reason why we as Dhumal Foundation and RCL Foods have come together to do this is to raise awareness of world hunger, and more especially in South Africa for young children. So today you are one event out of 40 events of this kind across the country. You are one out of 2,500 volunteers who have come together to make sandwiches for young children. And very soon we'll start seeing on this big screen all of the sandwiches being made across 40 sites. And let's hope before 11 o'clock, we will hit 100,000 sandwiches. So are you ready?
Right, so on the board are 2,251 sandwiches. We can do better than that, yeah? 13,000. We still got how many more to go? Plenty. 26,039 sandwiches. Come on, we're halfway. 48,403. Right, so good news. Good news. The world record has been achieved. RCL and partners, you've done it. 100,000 on the way. 60,660. 78,619 with 11 minutes, 15 seconds to go. 4 minutes, 93,958. Let's wait for the change. It's going to come. And let's hold thumbs. I want to see those hands up in there, holding thumbs, holding thumbs. $103,687. Well done.
Well, we did it. The world record was 57,000, and we did 107,418 sandwiches in 1 hour. And we just really like to thank everybody involved, particularly the volunteers, without whom we could not have done this.
When I walked in and I saw what was it, thousands of people working here, and I thought, but our people in South Africa have such good hearts. For them to come and volunteer their services, it's excellent to make sure that children are fed today.
We are truly humbled by this collaboration that has just grown from an idea in the last few months to smashing a world record. Thank you.
Great. So I hope those two videos just give you an idea of the scale of what we do as an organization, the bravery of what we do as an organization as well, and sometimes the craziness that we do as an organization. I want to also just quickly share with you a current campaign that we're working on as a foundation, and just some background in terms of why we're doing it. So we were doing all this kind of work that I have explained already in terms of young children, in terms of food security, in terms of the big campaign work that we're doing. But when COVID hit us, we realized two things. Two things for us became glaringly obvious. And that was that suddenly parents and caregivers had their children at home and were like, how do we engage with them? You know, they normally have school and they normally have teachers that look after them, but how do we engage our young children? And so we as an organization, and Cara has been very instrumental in putting this work together. And what we've done is we've pulled from the best sources of information out there. So we partner with people like UNICEF, the Department of Health, amongst many other organizations. And what we've done is we've put all that information into bite-sized, manageable givers to engage the young children. And we put that information out on our website, on social media. We've got WhatsApp groups which we are running to help our parents engage their young minds and young children. So that's the first thing, and that's goal 2. Goal 1 was we realized that there are almost 10 million children who are on the school feeding program. The school feeding program is often those children's only meal of the day. And so suddenly those kids aren't accessing that food. Coupled to that, of course, is we all reading it, and if you watch Carte Blanche, that depresses us all on a Sunday evening. You would have seen that the country is under huge pressure. People are being retrenched. People are without jobs. As a result of that, don't have money to be able to buy food. So we've got millions of children not accessing the school feeding program. We've got millions of people going hungry. And so we as an organization said we need to change things for people, and we need to come up with a campaign around provision of food. Thanks, Cara. So this is a video which I actually think we can share with you afterwards, because I'm also cognizant of time. So I think we'll share this video with you afterwards, and you can watch it in your own time. It really just shows some of the beneficiaries that are receiving the food that we are providing. But Leanne, do you want to talk to this slide for us, please?
Yes, sure, Warren. Good afternoon, everybody. As you can see, the foundation has had an amount of contributions throughout our big organizations throughout South Africa. So together, individuals as well as big organizations, we've managed to collect from them an amount of 3.9 million, which amounts to 515 tons of food delivered throughout through our vector trucks throughout 65 organizations across all 9 provinces of this country. So it's been such an amazing feedback from them, and as you can see, we've donated 3.5 million meals to all South Africans throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. So we have had such an amazing feedback, and we hope to continue reaching more people out there throughout this time when they need the meals from us. So yeah, basically, if anybody wants to donate more, we're still open to the donations.
Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, Cara. So mostly what we are distributing through the funds that we raise is a do more porridge. So we've actually, through this COVID time, we've actually come up with packaging, new packaging, and providing a instant sorghum porridge, which is fortified. The beauty of this pack is on the back of the pack, we've actually got COVID safety instructions. COVID care instructions. What you didn't see in the video was that we've been working with, obviously we've been distributing millions of meals across South Africa, but we've been working with people like Kingsley Holgate. Now Kingsley is one of the adventurers, African adventurers. He has taken our Do More porridge into very rural areas of South Africa. But what's lovely, and you'll see some of this in the video, is that he actually uses the pack as a communications vehicle. So whilst we are obviously providing hunger relief, we are providing the pack as a means of communicating COVID safety tips to people that often don't have the same access to communication that we do. So also as part of our campaign is we've come up with, and Cara is going to take you through this, which is the Give It Up communication campaign. The Give It Up communication campaign, because we are trying to, as an organization, so you saw what Leanne said, we've raised just over nearly 4 million rand, but we actually, externally to the public, we are saying we want to raise 10 million rand, but internally, because we always push the limits in terms of what we can do, we're trying to raise 30 million rand, because 30 million rand will provide 30 million meals. Because essentially 1 rand equals 1 meal. This porridge we are able to procure, we're able to buy it from our founder, RCL Foods, at cost. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. But let me hand over to Cara. I think the next slides are around the Give It Up campaign, and Cara can explain to you what we've been doing. Again, just to give you a sense of what we as an organization, the ambition, the real ambition that we have as an organization, and what we've been able to achieve. So Cara.
Hi everyone, thank you all for logging in and giving up your evening to listen to us. I know the description said join us and find how you can do more. I'm sure as you can see so far, we definitely live up to our name of the Do More Foundation. Having said that, during COVID-19, we set ourselves a very ambitious goal of providing 10 million meals to vulnerable children and their families during this time. And we needed to find a way to rally people around this central cause, tap into the passion for young children. And I think everyone deep down wants to help out. So what we did is we reached out to a couple businesses, media partners, shared our goal of we want to provide 10 million meals. Every rand that you give up provides a meal, and then calling upon people to give up and give something up in different ways. So how you could give it up to do more. This was done in media, and I'm going to show you a few examples, but people applied the give it up kind of thinking to TV ads, to things in store, to their social media profiles, and then as well as a few rand from their pockets or a few minutes of their time towards this campaign. So these are a couple of the brands that gave up their media space or their advertising space to help us do more. And on the right, you'll see all the kind of media houses. They gave up about 4.3 million rands worth of advertising space to help spread this message of help us do more, help us get these meals out to vulnerable children and their families. So Rama was amazing, and a couple brands have been really, really incredible at taking up this challenge. So they had a TV ad already running. They said that they're going to give up their TV space. Any of you in marketing will know what sacrifice that is. So they gave up their space. I'm going to play it for you now to help us spread this message.
You'll find it in every store. Rama has given up this advertising space during the COVID-19 pandemic. so we can do more to provide 10 million meals to vulnerable children and their families. Every rand that you give up will help us provide those meals. Donate to do more today.
So a very simple message, and it was all about that disruption technique. So the ad would play for 10 seconds, there was that static noise, and then they helped obviously spread the message of give it up to do more. I won't play this for you, we'll share it with you so you can go through these videos at your own space, at your own pace anyway. We also are on national radio stations like Smile, Kaya, ECR, Smile, Inkomazi and Valley FM. And then it was all about that call, give up 10 Rand from your pocket, 10 minutes of your time, give it up to do more. Then we also reached out to a couple of our influencers to see how they could give up there's a profile, a Facebook post, a profile picture, anything to help us spread this message. Warren already mentioned Kingsley Holgate, but he came in, he actually created a cool video for international people as well, saying, hey, you in USA, a Starbucks coffee costs you $4, for example. Did you know that that can actually provide 50 meals? And he kind of challenged other celebs and people to give it up to do more. We also had Sylvester, not sure if you know him, he wrote an amazing book called Stand Against Bland. Great guy to follow on Instagram if you're looking. He also helped with the foundation and it's kind of spreading that message and bringing awareness around this. Same with Jackie Camerons, who's a chef based in KZN. Then we had an amazing partnership with Pepcore. You might not know the Pepcore brand, but they own Tacky Town, Pep, Ackermans, Refinery, Rochester, Sleepmaster. There's a long list. They've got about 5,000 stores across South Africa, and they said that they will give up space at their tills to help us spread this message of give it up to do more. So give up as little as 2 Rand, 5 Rand, 10 Rand. They put in little wobblers and till mats, and we had an incredible response. People just giving up as little as 2 Rand to provide 2 meals during this time. RCL Foods brands also gave up their advertising space on billboards. We're also in about 6 or 7 shopping centers across the country. Not sure if you kind of walk through the shopping center, you see those digital screens. So some brands and the media agency gave up space on that to help us spread this message. This is just a short little GIF example of one that's running up at the moment that Yum Yum has given up. Same call to actions, help us do more. Other brands have applied this on social media as well. So by you'll see this kind of disruption technique, that like peel back where you can see the brand underneath it. That's the business that's given up to do more. Dromex has also given up a percentage of their profits towards the foundation. Zappa's given us pro bono, their services pro bono. Hi-Fi Corp, they've all kind of applied it to media and to their website spaces. And then we had an amazing team working on this internally, where you can add this frame onto your Facebook profile picture. I really hope you guys do this as well to get behind the cause. It's very easy for you to give it up to do more. All you need to do is add a frame and give it up and donate now to do more is a kind of message that we're wanting to spread. Back to you, Iris.
Thanks, Cara. I'm sure that we've given you lots to think about, and I'm about to give you some more to think about. So I'm going to chat to you about our Mandela Day campaign 2020. So you've seen what we've done before for Mandela Day, and obviously due to COVID-19, we're not able to do things the way we normally do. So normally the focus of Mandela Day is a lot of engagement and volunteering with communities and getting out into the field and meeting those beneficiaries. But this time around, we had to spend some time considering all of the health and safety measures we had to keep in place. We had to think of other ways that you could still be a part of Mandela Day and still do your bit. So this year, we've got 3 very simple ways that you can be part of Mandela Day. And the first one is simply, you could help us feed a child and their family by simply donating 67 Rand. So still keeping with the 67 minutes, you could easily donate via Zapper, PayScan. There's all sorts of EFT, all sorts of mechanisms for you to do your donation. It's as simple as that. And the second one is, you could help us reopen an ECD center. It's like a preschool. And I'm not sure if many of you know this, but for preschools to open in the next month, there's a whole list of things they need to do, like deep cleanse their school, sanitize, have hand sanitizers, have all sorts of things. And for the schools that we work with in rural South Africa, this is not a possibility. Schools that we work with hardly get in school fees. So for them to be able to get all those measures in place before school reopens is not possible. But we're asking for you to help us do this by collecting or donating hand sanitizers, donating disinfectants to us, or helping coordinate a collection in your area. And the last way, which is a very creative way that we've thought of, is crediting 67 minutes of volunteer time. So a lot of you might want to volunteer. A lot of people want that human contact, and we understand that. But right now with COVID, we're not able to do that. So we're saying you can actually pledge your support right now to an organization to volunteer, but you will credit that time, and when it's safe to do so, so after this, all of the safety measures, all of COVID levels have been passed, and we're able to move freely again, you can go to that organization and actually do your volunteer time. So right now, as your heartstrings pull you, you can actually go and pledge your time. So those are three very simple ways that you can do more this Mandela Day: donate, collect, or credit your time. Thank you, Warren.
Thanks, Iris. The next few slides, I just want to share with you an initiative which we started a few years ago, and it's called the Dhumal Friday movement. We're trying to essentially start a movement whereby we sell a t-shirt, and I'm wearing one, but I don't think you can really see it. It has a little Dhumal Foundation logo on it. On the side and on the sleeve, it actually says our hashtag #DoMore. And we sell these t-shirts for 120 Rand, but a portion of the funds go towards feeding a child for a month. So you buy this t-shirt for 120 bucks and you feed a child for a month. And what we're trying to do by starting this movement is trying to encourage everyone who buys these t-shirts to wear them on a Friday. And so kind of engender the sense of community. And the more people that see us doing and involved in community stuff across the country, the more people want to be involved is our feeling. So to try and start this movement, we've got these Dhumal Friday t-shirts. The next slides just show some of the, we partnered with a more kind of boutique store. This slide actually just talks to the meals and the feeding that the t-shirts provide. But these next few slides just show some new designs. We partnered with Holmes Brothers, which is a kind of boutique store started in Durban, but I think there's one in Johannesburg actually. And Holmes is going to sell our t-shirts. So these design t-shirts, they're going to sell, Holmes normally sells their t-shirts for about 350 Rand. These t-shirts they're going to sell for 279 Rand. And all the proceeds will come to the foundation in terms of feeding young children. And we will also sell them we actually got a conversation set up with Takealot, hopefully on the Takealot platform, but also we will sell them directly at 279. And then by buying this t-shirt, again, you're feeding a child for a month. So these are some other designs that we will be providing, which I think are quite funky, and I think would be perfect for everyone who's online in terms of, and by the way, there's a men's and ladies design, so the ladies will like that. I got a lot of trouble for just having a unisex design, but now the ladies now have a design t-shirt. So maybe there's opportunity in terms of Dhumal Friday and involvement with Dhumal Friday. Thanks, Cara.
So this is another project we started with under our youth focus area. we took a group of young unemployed women and who didn't have any sort of technical skills, and we trained them in the skill of sewing, and decided to use waste material, as in old branded material, pull-up banners and the like, to create a shopper bag. And the image that you see there is a shopper bag that you can purchase for 50 Rand. All funds raised are pumped back into the program. And as you can see, it's young women who now have a purpose, have drive, and this program is owned by them. It's a co-op and it's a mini enterprise. And it's simply a good example of what we do in our community-based programs. We see a problem, we try and meet that problem, and then to go further than that, we create some economic viability for those community members. So do more, #, do more is a bag that can be purchased. The blue panel that you see in the front can be branded with your business details or golden key, you know, any branding that you want, and all of the money again gets pumped into the community projects. So this is another way that we are doing more, one bag at a time for young women in the community. This rather quickly, because I'm sure that these this presentation might be made available to you. So some of the ways that you and therefore different opportunities might appeal. Do More Friday movement, help raise funds by marketing and selling our Do More Friday t-shirts. That's one t-shirt sold helps feed a child for an entire month. And the t-shirts come in blue, pink, and gray, and that's one way you can do it. The next way, you can share the story of our Do More bags. We know that every person might have their own networks and a whole lot of networks. We're asking if you would share the story of our Do More bags to your contacts. Maybe there's businesses who could purchase this for conferences and for different uses. The other one is Do More for a local ECD. And this one, I thought it can be done across the country. We've got relationships with many ECDs that we work with. Here we're saying you could adopt an ECD preschool in your area and offer yourself in many ways, from coaching the principal to maybe offering your skills on a pro bono basis, or helping them manage the ECD. There's various ways that you can help an ECD. The next way is which is really needed by us. You could help us capture local experiences and share their story. Simply, we're looking for volunteers across the country who are interested in telling stories of our beneficiaries. So if you're able to write or have a flair for writing, we wanted you to bring out the journo in you. We've got projects across the country and stories that are dying to be told, and we'd love for you to help us tell those stories. Another way, if you are one of those people who love selfies or love taking beautiful pictures, then we would love for you to help us with that. If photography is your thing, if you love doing little mini videos, then help us take some footage at our local ECD centers or of our community projects or at our annual campaign. Remember, I'm not sure if Warren explained this, we're a small team, but our work is spread across the country. So we need heroes, we call you heroes, our heroes across the country to help us capture these stories and campaigns. Another way, which is a really interesting way that you could actually be of help, is to help local heroes in your community. You could apply for a volunteer grant. So you find a local hero in your community and connect with them. And by simply completing a form and creating a little mini video, a step-by-step video, you could actually get that person or that organization 2,500 Rand worth of RCL Foods products, hence supporting a local hero. Okay, help increase the foundation's reach online. I'm sure there's tons of you who are social media gurus that spend hours online. We're calling on those people. We're asking if you would help build a DMF brand and reach out to social media pages, reach out to influencers, and if you're one of those influencers yourselves, if you would then punt our campaigns and spread the Do More spirit on our behalf, we would love for you to do that. So it's doing some good on social media on our behalf. Another way is fundraising ideas and grant applications to help us look for funding streams, opportunities, and sources, and grant applications both nationally and internationally. Again, calling on your networks, tapping into those networks and your connections to help us apply for much needed funds to do more. Another way for, it might appeal to another group of you, and Kara's very nicely put here, are you a data master? And simply this, we need somebody who's willing to gather, summarize, and make sense of large amounts of data from our community projects. So we undertake a lot of monitoring and evaluation. So there's lots of capturing and a little bit of analyzing needing to be done. And we'd love some help with that as well. Are you good with numbers? So some bean counters, I'm sure there's lots of you here. What about doing some good with your skills, with your experience? We always, and Leanne actually raised her hand up with this one, said, we're always looking for some pro bono skills in the finance sector. So if you're one of those people who want to lend a hand with our numbers, we're happy to do so. We're a very transparent organization, and we're happy for you to come on board to help us with this. Looking for long-term volunteer opportunities. So this one, we're looking for, we termed it a volunteer intern. So what we're looking for here is somebody on a more long-term basis, maybe between a 6 to 12-month basis, to become a permanent part of the foundation for a lengthy period of time and to partner with us for our community projects. We've got a project in Nkomazi, Worcester, and in Durban, and we hope that this person could become part of our team, helping us with the management of our projects in these 3 areas. So these are some of the ways that you can help us. For more information, you can go onto our website. You can find us on all of these social media handles, and you can simply email us at support@DoMore as well. So there's lots of questions, I'm told, and I hope your mind is going busy on the many ways that you can #DoMore with us. Thank you so much, Jillian.
Thanks, Iris. You muted, Jillian.
There we go. You guys are doing such amazing work, and I think you can see the support that you have in our chats as well. We do have a few questions. You know, you can't have a webinar with Golden Key members without having a bunch of questions. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to ask you some of the questions just to get our members' minds at ease after our session tonight.
No worries.
Our first question was, does the foundation focus on teaching or enlightening parents on the importance of the development years of a child in areas where they don't have large-scale community programs? This is because underprivileged societies, it seems as though most parents focus mostly on systematic education and kind of neglect the fact that values, ethics, and passions are some of the things that children may learn from parents or prominent figures in their lives. And if not, how can one start such an initiative?
All right, would you like to? Cara's doing some work across the country, beyond just those big areas that we're talking about. But Cara, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, sure. So it's a very, very valid question. And one of the biggest issues is not exactly what information, because that's readily available. We've got incredible people producing that information, but it's how it's being delivered. So obviously, like we would go on Facebook or we would Google something. Obviously, in vulnerable communities, parents don't have that same kind of engagement with technology. So we've been very creative on how we can reach how we can reach them with those types of messages. We do Love Play Talk radio stations. We put like an hour aside, and we get some really kind of top class experts to come and talk about exactly like you're saying, things around loving your child, playing with your child, and helping them develop those bigger skills in, like you say, just kind of systematic engagement. And then during COVID-19, we've been focusing on those messages through WhatsApp groups, through the use of data-free messages like Moya Messenger, and that's been focusing on easy ways to play and stimulate young children at home during this time, nutrition, and just basically supporting the parents' mental health and well-being to get through this. There's a lot to discuss on this topic, as you can see, so feel free to connect with me. But there's definitely ways that we're having to engage with those types of messages and get very innovative on how we deliver these messages to parents.
Thanks, Cara. Then we have a question about the hunger crisis in Yemen at the moment, and if the organization knows of any work from SA's side being done to help the crisis as it's at the brink of extinction. Tyler says, I know the hunger crisis in South Africa is at the forefront of the organization, but if there is any room for some help to be extended to Yemen, will it be placed under consideration, perhaps collaborations, etc.? She thinks that Yemen is in extreme need right now. She does say, please understand, I'm not trying to step on any toes, but she wants to thank you for the amazing work that you guys are already doing.
That's very kind. I didn't catch the area where she's
Yemen.
talking about. Yemen, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. Iris, would you like to?
Sure. So we have priority focus areas that we are focusing in, like we explained, and then there's other programs that go throughout the country. But how we base those priority focus areas is based on their independence to our founding company being RCL Foods. And that's how we started with our programs. So a lot of our programs are already 4 or 5 years into its lifespan, and we take the longer term look at community projects. So at the moment, yes, we are in 3 community projects, and we're looking at it holistically. So we don't just do a knock and drop. So there's still so much to do in these 3 areas, and we're not totally finished in those areas. But we will look at new priority areas once we completed our work here. I'm sorry, that's a little bit of a roundabout answer, but Warren, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think, Gillian, I mean, there's amazing organizations out there that are providing food to vulnerable communities within South Africa. And what we've done as an organization is in some instances, we're working very much with the community directly, but in most instances, we're actually working with the big non-profit organizations. So Save the Children, Africa Tikkun, Gift of the Givers. These are names that your people online will know. And we work with them at scale. So what we do is that porridge that I showed, we deliver that porridge at volume, like tons of it, to those organizations, which then distribute that product. Within those vulnerable communities. But yeah, I mean, we've got a massive job within South Africa. I mean, everyone online will know the devastation that COVID has left our country in, and the millions of people that are going hungry. And so as an organization, we have our work cut out for us.
Thank you. Yes, I agree. And you're doing such a great job here. I think that's why our members are extending to other areas as well. I know you guys mentioned work that you guys do in the smaller areas or in the areas that you guys work. One of our members asked specifically about work being done in the Northern Cape area. Do you guys have representation, and do you do a lot of work in the Northern Cape area as well?
We, I mean, it's not an area that we have done a lot of work. We have, we are delivering food into the Northern Cape area. We've battled to find big organizations that are doing really, you know, working in that space, I must say. So it is obviously a space where organizations, yeah, there's a lack of organizations. Yeah, so I mean, to answer that question directly, we also do work with ECD organizations in that space. So we are a member of Nectar, which is the largest national ECD organization within the country, and they certainly have ECD organizations that operate in that area. But we as an organization, yeah, I don't want to lie to your members and say, yes, we are doing big work. But certainly if there's an interest in that space, we could certainly connect people to organizations, you know, through the ECD networks that we operate. I don't know, Cara, yeah?
Yeah, so I mean, we are looking at extending some of our early learning into Northern Cape as well, but it's like Warren says, we need big kind of partner organizations on the ground in Northern Cape to make it really happen. And make sure that our efforts are sustainable.
Great. I think one of the questions that came through quite a few times during the session is obviously, how do they get involved? You guys had your slides about where and how they can get involved. And I think we could share that with our members afterwards to say these are the different fields that you can get involved with, as well as sharing some of the details for them to get a hold of you guys and where to go, how to get up, sign up to become a volunteer. So we'll definitely do a follow-up with our members. I think there's a lot of members that also wanted to join tonight that was where it wasn't possible. So we would surely just afterwards send a follow-up to our members on how, where, what, and how you can get involved.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, support at dhumor.org.za, and then we will field it within amongst our team would probably be the best. But I mean, we are on Facebook. It would be amazing if you guys could follow us on Facebook, and you can connect with us on any of our social media platforms, actually. Is an opportunity as well. And in that way, people could actually have a look at what we're doing as well.
Thank you. Yes. You guys would also see all of the great work that they're doing on their Facebook page, where and what they're busy with. We also want to, I have one other question that came through. During the COVID-19 crisis, how did the Dhumal hoping to mobilize volunteer work in different communities due to the psychological setbacks, such as fear to be on the field?
Yeah, it was Iris, do you want to answer it? Yeah.
I just was trying to type that response, but currently we're actually not encouraging the volunteerism aspect due to obviously the health and safety issues, and therefore we thought we were very smart to come up with the idea of banking or crediting your volunteer time for use later after this whole COVID saga is over. But right now, it's just simply not safe enough to do so.
Thanks. Yes, I agree with that. And I think it's very, very cool for you to be able to bank your hours, because we do always have members that want to be hands-on involved in events and the volunteering aspect of things. So that will also be in the information that you guys receive on how to bank your hours of community service. So I don't see any more questions from our members coming through. I want to thank you guys for your time and the effort you guys put into managing your events, your coordinating and putting all of this into place. We know it's not just a 9-to-5 job. So we want to, from our side, also say thank you for what you guys are doing for the communities, and know that Golden Key has your back as well in all of the events that you guys are hosting and what you guys are doing. So we will reach back out to our members about the questions that they had with all of the responses, as well as how to get involved. Thank you very much for availing your time tonight. And we look forward to many more opportunities to work with you guys.
Great. Gillian, Almi, thank you very much. Golden Key members that are still online, thank you. We really appreciate your time tonight. And to my team, thanks again for joining us as well. Look after yourselves. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Participants, you guys can
thank you, everybody.
Log off by ending your session and clicking leave meeting. I see our members are already going offline. Thank you very much, all of you, for attending.
So while people are leaving, Warren, I'm going to put you and Iris and Cara and Leanne a bit on the spot. When can we have branded, Golden Key branded hashtag Dhumal Foundation bags and t-shirts to put on our shop?
How soon can you place your order?
Tomorrow.
Just the money, honey.
Tomorrow. Let me know. Send me the quote on how much it will cost, and then we can place it on our shop, and we can. Yes. And how do you do the delivery across the country?
So we're very fortunate to have a courier company that does all of our couriering across the country on a pro bono basis. So we do courier door to door. Yes. So if you're looking for the Dhumal bags, we do a minimum order of 100, so they can be at 50 Rand per bag. And you just tell us what artwork or what logos you want on it. We design it. We'll send you a proof, and then we'll manufacture for you, and you could have the say in a few weeks.
And the courier to our members, because they courier for you, will the courier people also courier the bags to our members when they buy it online?
Cara, is a delivery charge attached on our?
No delivery charge for the grey t-shirts. It's part and parcel.
Okay, so if you can send me a quote for bags, t-shirts, and somebody asked for jerseys, please, but I don't think you have hoodies at the moment.
No,
all right, so if you can send that through, we can put it on our shop. We very, very agile. We quick, swift, nimble. That's why we Golden Key. So I'll wait for the quote. We'll pay and we'll put it on the website.
Brilliant.
I think that's a quick win for us all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The t-shirts, Almi, we've got these t-shirts which sell for 120 Rand, but we've also got those Homes ones.
Yes.
Are 270 Rand.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure which.
I think I will start with a cheaper one, given our students. So
Okay.
I'll start there, but I want the GK logo on, please, on all of it. We'll send you the artwork. Mareka, unmute yourself, please. Mareka is online, and she's our merchandise